Hello everybody, welcome to QueenTitiLoves. Welcome back. Today we are going to be taking a makeup journey with Queen Titi. I'm going to try to do both eyes today. Let's see what happens. And our topic for today is going to be peer pressure. So how peer pressure applies for high schoolers and then throughout the rest of your life. So let's first start with our concealer, and I am using actually a no, this is the wrong one. I am using a concealer from Pro Concealer. So I'm using Pro Concealer in the color, I believe, Tan Sand. So let's see. Let's get started. So, peer pressure. First, on the topic of peer pressure, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So, let me squeeze some of this out. I know that I said that I want to use all of my crayon products only. Howsoever, let me see. I do think I have a flat brush. I do, but it's kind of smaller. I'm just going to use this brush because I want to use the other brush for my cut crease. Okay, and this one is just one that I picked up at the drugstore. Nothing special about it except for I'm very used to using it. So I'm squeezing some concealer on the brush. I just went over my brows to clean them up. It's such a painful process. I need a new blade. So we know I have my eyebrows micro-bladed, but you still have to clean them up under, and so that's what I just went through and did. But that thing it was sharp. So sharp, but it didn't cut anything. So anywho, let's get started. Okay, so know that I start in the corner and then I swipe across. And yes, I do place the concealer on before I fill them in, so I can see the areas where I need to fill them in, because I don't do a full brow. That's why I paid to have them micro-bladed. I wonder why they call it micro-blading. It's really like tattooing. They go in and they tattoo little hairs. In the interim, let me tell you what I did about my makeup first. So what I did was I reached out to somebody on Instagram who does really nice makeup that I love, that is trending right now. I like to catch people when they're trending and they're just starting, or just starting to pick up the amount of subscribers and things like that they have, and followers, because those people generally respond faster and better, mostly because they have the time to. Once you get like to 100,000 and things like that, I know that it gets harder to respond. I'm definitely looking forward to getting to that point, but I don't ever want to lose the personal piece. So at that point, QueenTitiLoves is going to get some people to come in and help her so she can make sure she is able to respond. Why am I talking about myself in third person? So I can make sure I respond to all of you guys myself. And one of the things she told me is too, that my color will pick up better if I add more product to my eye. So I'm making it a little bit thicker so that it would pick up the product versus using a really thin layer. I kind of didn't know that it mattered, but let's see. So peer pressure. Let's talk about peer pressure. So the reality is you're going to have peer pressure your entire life, TT's babies. It's just going to happen. And so the most important thing to start out with doing is to know, and I'm patting this in instead of blending it in so it can stay kind of thick. Most important part of peer pressure is that someone is able to convince you to do something you would not have otherwise done because you don't know what you like. if you know what you like, your morals, what you stand for, what you are and are not willing to do or try, if you know those things from the beginning, then nobody can. Cool. That was quick. Let's move to the next slide. So nobody can convince you to do something that you don't believe in or that you don't want to do. Now that doesn't mean you don't try different things that are safe and that you want to do. Completely your choice. But peer pressure means it's something that you are only doing because everyone else is doing it. It's the trend. Somebody literally convinced you to do it, or like social media convinced you to do it, or something like that. And so taking the time to really think about the things that you want to do, where you want to go in life, can greatly build your foundation for knowing what you are willing to accept. I want to connect it like the other YouTubers. So I want to do it. I don't know why they do it. Well, let's just do it. It's not peer pressure. It's taking a technique and learning it and applying it. See the difference, guys? This isn't going to hurt anybody. I'm just trying something new. So, knowing the things that you'll stand for and where you want to go in life and the things that you want to do will really keep you away from peer pressure, because there are things that some people are willing to do and willing to try that you're not. And it could be anything. So let's take an example. QueenTiti, what do you mean? So I knew from a very young age that I wanted to do something in business, and I wanted to be like sitting, that is a whole mess up, sitting in a corner office and all that stuff, right? So I knew that I could still get away with doing normal teenage things that people do when they're growing up. But I had a friend who knew that they wanted to go into politics, right? And so we know that when you go into things like that, like your slate almost has to be squeaky clean. And so you want it where nobody can pull up anything from your past, and it won't. That's pretty. Bam. TT is moving faster. Listen. So this particular person knew that they wanted to go into politics, and so they knew that they could not do things like what we talked about, going on to social media. And I'm going to set this to the side in case I decide to do the top. But that's pretty dope. Look, you guys, I'm able to go faster. So let's fill in the brows. Do I want to use a pencil, a brown pencil, or do I want to use the pomade? Let's use the pomade because last time we didn't. So let's use it and play in it. So let me get the spoolie. I like this spoolie from Crayon case because, let me put it over my eye. Let's use the brightness. Look how small it is, so you can really take your time and get in there with it. And then the spoolie is also small, so I really like that. So I'm going to brush this up so I see what I have left at the top and how to fill that in. So we are going to do the brows next. The wing is really very clean, so I'm just going to go over it just a little bit so that it's an ombre effect and it's not super dark straight across. But I think that's pretty good. And I'm using the Crayon case pomade, and this is in the color dark brown. This particular person knew that they wanted to go into politics, so the things that they wouldn't do is just like we talked about building your brand. They began to build their brand very young. And so the things that some of us do, like when you go to college, you might be at a house party, you might post a picture on social media, something as simple. This really spreads, you guys, so you don't have to use a lot. And I'm going to go up now with the brush in this area just to fill it in. You see how it's really filling it in right there where I have some spots. Yeah, let's do some more. But this particular person would not take a picture with a drink in their hand. They would not be at parties that they felt anything could happen. So although everybody else may have been at these parties, they were okay with going to the parties that best represented how they wanted to be when they got older and got out of school, because everything that you do is, I'm going to bring this in a little bit more, everything you do, especially in this wonderful world of social media, is a tag on it. So it can be located from anyone. And I know we talked about some people saying that they don't like square brows. My brows are square, so I do my brows square. So now I'm going to move over to the other one and do the same thing, filling it in. So they didn't do things like go to parties where they didn't belong. They didn't do things like, they didn't even get speeding tickets. And listen, TT's first car was a red sports car. Queen Titi, why did you have a red sports car for your first car? Because it was the nicest one on the used car lot that I like. And I really love the color red, so that's what I did. You want to know how that turned out? Before I put my first car note in the mail, or not before, the exact same day I put my first car note in the mail, I totaled my car. I did, because I wasn't paying attention, and to me it felt like the brakes went out, but maybe I just didn't hit them in time. I don't know. Or hit them hard enough, or maybe it was too late. I don't know. But be responsible, babies, because life is real. And when you say things like, I'm just going around the corner, I'm just this, very nice, I'm just this, I'm just that, there's no such thing as just. You can get in an accident a couple of houses down, which, by the way, my car has also been totaled a couple houses down. I was not driving the car. So this particular person really protected their brand and made sure that they did the things that they needed to do, so that when they got older, they would not have to worry about someone being able to throw something back in their face. So this is a small blending brush. I have small eyes, so I'm going to start using a small blending brush. We're going to go into the MacBook. We're going to open that up. So they just really made sure that the things that they did aligned with what they wanted to do in their future. So as much as you think that you have time, and you think you can do different things, and oh, I still have time, oh, I still have time, your brand really starts before you hit high school, but actually in high school, because that's when you start to make silly decisions because of peer pressure. I am going to use completely different colors today, because I always use like the purplish colors. I'm going to use like these two orange colors. That's what I'm going to use. And possibly this one right here. So my blending color is going to be this this color right here. So I'm using this one, and this one. Okay? And it doesn't have very much fallout, and it's very pigmented. So with the MacBook, you start with a little bit and then you blend it out, or build it up, add to it. And I'm starting in the crease here. You see how pigmented that is? And this is just the transition color. And I'm actually going to pat it on so some of that product can get in there, and then I'll come back and blend it out. Okay, so again, your brand starts from a very young age, because we know these days with social media, everybody's watching everything that you do. So if you post something out of peer pressure and you're like, oh, well, you know, nobody will find out. First of all, we all know everybody has their phone out all the time, you know, and there are some people that are waiting for you to do certain things so that they can, you know, hold on to it or show, see, this person isn't as good as you thought they were. They do this or they do that. And so falling into peer pressure can sometimes be a setup. But if you know what you will do and won't do, and the decisions that you're okay with making, it's pretty, then you will be more likely to hold on to those decisions and to be firm and okay with those decisions also. So for instance, as an adult right now, I don't particularly care to drink as much as I used to when I go out. Meaning I could go out and not have a drink at all, because that is what I've decided to do. Now, do the others drink around me? Absolutely. And we're old enough. We can do what we want to do. But there are times when people still, as an adult, will be like, oh, Asia, just have, now y'all know my name. Oh, just have fun. Just have a drink. It's just one, blah, blah, blah. But because I already know I really don't want to, this color is sticking better. So thank you so much for that tip. To my virtual mentor, I'm so excited. Okay. Because I've already decided that I don't want to drink, I've decided before I even get to the party that what I'm going for, what I'm willing to do. And that doesn't mean that I am killing the party, I'm stuck up, or anything like that, because guess what? I don't stop anybody else from doing it. I've just determined that I don't want to do it. And if I determine, oh yeah, we'll have a little drink, you know, whatever, I'm going to set this to the side. And we blended it really well. This video, the color picked up a lot better, guys. And I got a new light too. So as soon as I can put it together, I am. And let's see. It's the shadow blender, but I want to go across the top with my next blending color. And I really feel like I have to sneeze. This is a flat shadow brush. Allergy season, remember? I'm going to use this in my on my lid, I think. Hold on, let me see what else I have here. Blending brush. I think I'm going to use, let's see. So we have this one, which is the blending brush, and we have this one, which is the shadow blender. If I'm looking at these two, this one looks smaller. So I think I'm going to use this one across the top. And remember, across the top, I am going to use orange. Let's use orange and see what happens. Really pigmented. Okay, so because I have, well, that's pigmented. Because I've decided before I get there that I don't want to drink, then I'm okay with not drinking. But if I get there and then I'm like, oh, well, you know, I think I will have a drink. That's because QueenTiti said so. Not because anybody peer pressured me. And actually, that's blending really well. I'm getting better, guys. I'm so proud of myself. It's because I've decided to do it, and nobody can make that decision for me. They can't change my mind. And as a matter of fact, when you all begin to meet other people and I do my interviews with them, they will tell you, like, I'm probably the person that If you try to convince me to do something, then I'm going to do the exact opposite. And more so, I'm going to do the exact opposite because my personal feeling is that if somebody tells you that they don't like something or they don't want something, then their decision should be respected. So while we're on the topic of peer pressure, just like I'm telling you, don't fall into peer pressure and be very aware of what you like and what you're comfortable doing, then you have to do the same for others. So everybody is not going to do the same things or like the same things, and that's okay. And that actually is what makes different groups of friends really beneficiary. So, or beneficial. Beneficiary. So sorry. Beneficial. So that you have a variety of friends who like different things and expose you to different things, and can really get you out there to do things that you may not have done before. I have gone out with friends and just gone to book clubs and things like that. And I personally don't really read as much as I used to. And I think that that has a whole lot to do with after I got my master's. I was like, I don't want to see another book ever again. So yeah, QueenTiti cut up for a minute. I was so, and I'm going back into that pink color to darken it up a bit, and then I'm going to go into my crease. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think I'm gonna finish both eyes. And just so you know, we talked about how it's very difficult for me to talk like this, and this is a new space, and that I was nervous. I think I'm getting a little more comfortable, and I'm so excited about that. I think I'm getting more comfortable. I'm getting to a space where I like to actually log in and have a conversation with you guys and just talk to you while I get ready. I'm going to try this color and see what happens. It's a really like tan color, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. If the tan color doesn't work out, then I'm going to put yellow over it, and that's going to be for my lid. Now, I'm trying to think, do I want to cut this crease or do I want to keep going? Let's try to cut this crease, but let's try to cut it with just a little bit. Let's try to cut it with Crayon case, and this one is 25. So let's try this one, and I was gonna try this brush over here. Okay. Do you know how many times that somebody has been pressured into something and it turns out wrong and it goes wrong, and that's the person that gets in the most trouble? Like the person that's in the car with someone who is drinking and says, you know, guys, we shouldn't do this, and they're the one that possibly didn't drink, but they don't have the license, or it's not their car. In cases like that, be okay with making the decision that's best for you. And what I mean by that is, if you are cutting my crease now, okay, you guys, I have that much lid left, but you can't really see it. But I am going to cut it just on the bottom. So, if you ever pay attention, it's always the person that's like, no guys, we shouldn't do this, let's be responsible. That's always the one that ends up getting hurt. And I can't understand why that happens, but it does. That's always the person that gets hurt. So for me, I would say this, like, even if let's just say you rode to a party with someone, they started drinking, or for the girls, they got into a car with a boy and you don't feel safe. Let me tell you something. That's what you have parents for. Your parents would much rather you call them to come and get you than for you to be hurt, honey. Call your parents. If you have an older sibling, call your older sibling. If you have money, take an Uber and take yourself on home. You don't ever have to compromise your life in a way that is uncomfortable. Well, don't compromise your life, period. But you don't ever have to make a decision that is going to alter the quality of your life if it goes wrong, simply because you don't want to upset someone. Because let me tell you something. I know y'all see these things that are happening out there. And so let's just use a drunk driver as an example. So you get in the car with a driver. You don't feel like they are someone who should be driving. They won't let you, take the keys. I'd rather someone with no license that knows how to drive take the wheel than the person who is the owner of the car, simply because it's their car, because it's also your life. So, hold on one second. Now, Peachy got to focus. Y'all know I can't see. Perfect. It's perfect for me. I'm telling you, it's amazing, you guys. When you look in this mirror, you can see that one little piece, and you start out wanting to go a little bit lower, and then you build on it, build on it, build on it, because you're trying to get it perfect. Now for this, I'm really patting it in to get it flat, so that way you don't have bumps in your color. Okay, so I'd much rather for the person, if someone doesn't have mother, uncle, I fixed it. Okay, I'd much rather someone who doesn't have a license to take the wheel of that car than for someone to get hurt, right? So in the event that you're not comfortable with the person that's about to drive that car, or jumping in a car with somebody that you don't know, pick up the phone and call somebody that you trust. Preferably, my first choice is always going to be your parent, because don't nobody on this planet love you more than your parents. You're theirs. They had you. They want you back exactly the way they let you go. And so if you are open and honest with your parents, they will trust you better. So not giving in to peer pressure also makes them trust you better, because then they know, okay, my baby is comfortable enough to tell me, hey mom, hey dad, my friend is not doing something that I'm comfortable with. I want to, please come and get me. I want to go home. Or I don't want them to think that I'm ratting them out, because we know that's a big thing. Can you please send me money for a Uber or something like that? But when I tell you don't get in that car, I mean don't get in that car, because I just told you that My car was totaled exactly 5 houses down. So it doesn't, you don't even have to leave the curb. And FYI, if there is a driver who is intoxicated and they simply have their keys in the ignition, that's still a DUI. FYI. Okay? Um, so yeah, just make the right decisions, because not giving in to peer pressure, number one, it protects you. It really, really does. And then it sets those boundaries for the people that are around you. I got it really flat. Let me just make this more clean. There. It sets boundaries. It lets people know what you will and won't stand up for. And then that translates into dating, when you're able to date, and all of those good things. And so then people know how to respect your space, respect your decisions, respect your boundaries, respect you as a person, and you can be proud of yourself. So sorry. You can be proud of yourself. Now here's what, listen. Here's where it's about to be the whole problem. Getting the other eye to be like this eye. I could do it off camera, but I'm telling you, talking and doing makeup is hard. And I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to teach you too. This is our time together. Okay, let's go. Whew. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna start in the middle, you guys. It might be easier. That way I can see just how high this other one is. And then bring it down from there. Hold on. Your parents knowing that, your parents, your aunt, whomever is your caretaker, your older siblings, your younger siblings, all of those people are people that want you back home the same way that you left. All of those people are the ones that matter the most. I'm gonna have to take this one up a little bit. I told y'all it's a whole mission. All of those people are the people that need you. Those are people that could potentially look up to you, your younger siblings, cousins, things like that. So when they see that you're comfortable with who you are and taking a stand for yourself and being brave enough to be yourself, then guess what's going to happen? They're going to do the same thing. They're going to follow in those footsteps. Your parents or guardian is going to be more comfortable with letting you go places, despite what Billy and Ann, I need to go up a little more on this one, despite what Billy and Ann and Jerome and Paul and Margaret might do. They know that you are going to be responsible and do the things that you're supposed to do. So they'll let you do more. In high school and stuff, I didn't have to sneak out the house. When my mother told me that I could start dating, the guy came to the house. It was someone that I actually knew forever. And so, because I did the same thing over here. And so, because he was respectful of the boundaries that my mother set for me, he respected me a lot better. He understood my boundaries. He did not try to pressure me into doing things that he knew I had no intentions on doing, because he said it was a waste of time. Now, listen to what I said. He said it was a waste of time to try to get me to do things that I already expressed that I wasn't going to do. We still dated. He didn't say I was a waste of time. We dated for a very long time. And he was a little bit older than me. So, girls that are going to be like, but I want to date an older guy, and I have to do this so he will like me. Listen, didn't I just tell you don't give in to peer pressure? Now y'all done made me mad. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And the person that is for you and respects you, be it the person you're dating, I gotta cut this better, or a friend, because friends could try to peer pressure you too, because everybody's not your friend. Some people just want things from you. Now, like that line is not good. Okay. Now let me take this one up just a little bit more. But the person that's designed for you, the friends that's designed for you, whatever is designed for you is going to be there no matter what. And peer pressure just really isn't good. Another area. Let me tell you another area that will translate into with peer pressure. So everybody, well, you know, when you go into the workforce, you're going to be presented with opportunities. You're going to have different job offers that come your way within the job. Your team, your boss, the manager may ask you to do things that you're just not comfortable with doing. What do you think happens to the people that don't have boundaries set up? The boss feels like they can get this person to do things that they know they shouldn't be doing. What do you think happens to that person? What do you think? That's generally the person that they're going to target to do things they shouldn't be doing. And because that person has not practiced with having boundaries, they are going to be the one that possibly gets in trouble. They're going to be the one that does things that they shouldn't do. All because when they should have realizing their younger years, when they should have been utilizing their younger years to develop and establish what they would accept and wouldn't accept, and being okay with being firm in their decisions, they weren't. They were kind of just going with the flow. So now they probably feel like, well, if the boss says do it, I better do it. Have y'all ever heard of Enron? Look it up. Because they just did what the boss told them to do. No, it's really important. It's really, really important to set those boundaries, know what you'll go for, and be okay with it. So that doesn't mean that because you set your boundaries, people are going to be like, oh, you have your boundaries, you know, I'm never going to ask you anything. That might not happen. They might, whoever they is, might still try like, oh, I think I could break her. Or, oh, I think I could break him. Or, oh, let me try it this way. Nope. Even if they package it differently, tell them, no, the same way. And eventually be okay with cutting off that unhealthy type of relationship, because peer pressure is a part of life, but I feel like once you set your boundaries, that'll work. Once you set your boundaries with the people around you, they should begin to know, number one, you as a person, the things you like, what you will and will not go for. And that's where that should stop. You shouldn't have to continue. And I'm really getting down in my lid because it's behind my eyelashes. Okay, now I can do the yellow color. The cut crease takes the longest. Oh my gosh, when you're filming. Listen, I could do that in like no time when I'm off the when I'm not on. Okay, I'm gonna do yellow. And I think I'm gonna do that straight down the middle. So I'm gonna pat that on. And I'm patting it in so that the color will actually come out. But it's tripping. Let me go into the yellow below it. But yeah, after you've established certain relationships and they know what you stand for and what you will and won't go for and what you like, period, I don't feel like you should have to continue that battle, because then that's an unhealthy relationship, because that means that person isn't respecting what you like, what your values are, what your principles are. That's just like someone who is, I have a lot of friends that are Muslim. When they come around, I don't offer them pork. That's disrespectful. That's totally disrespectful. I would not. And if I did, they would know that it's a total slip up, because I eat bacon. I eat a lot of bacon. So if, let's just say they came over and I was making breakfast, I might slip and ask them if they want it. And then I would quickly, remember, if I invited them over for it, not just they were here and I was making it, I would make sure I got turkey bacon. Those are the things that happens excuse me, when boundaries are set and they are respected. Somebody who loves you is going to respect your boundaries, period. Don't ever get so caught up in, well, what if they don't like me anymore? So what? Because guess what? You don't like them first because they made you mad. You don't have to deal with that. Nobody has to deal with that. I am a part of a phenomenal sorority. I was a cheerleader. QueenTiti was a cheerleader. I know I said I'm an introvert and I'm really shy, but I was a cheerleader. For whatever reason, I told you guys, if it's like, okay, go perform, I'm ready. If you tell me to practice and do a mock anything, I'm nervous. But, and that's because it's not real. But, I've done all of those things, so, I don't want you to be like, well, you don't understand. Because that's what you young people love to tell us. We don't understand. Because, all these things only started happening when you guys got in school or became young adults. No, ma'am. No, sir. We've been dealing with these things. Does the package look a little different? Well, Well, yeah, because you guys have social media, so it looks a little bit different. So you guys can see things that are being done that your parents may not agree with, but so many of your friends are doing it, or it's trending or whatever. But understand that the things that your parents tell you no, you can't do, you are their most valuable asset. What would they do if something happened to you? What would they do if something turned out wrong? All because they were following a trend. So now they're following peer pressure. Because remember, I said, when you set the tone for how people will treat you, that flows into every area of your life. So that also flows into the area where they're a parent. So what they are doing and how they make the decisions for you is because they love you, because they know it works, because they know what's coming around that corner. They know. So what kind of parent wouldn't want to protect and support their kids? Rules are not made so that you can't have fun. Rules are made to protect you, you know? And FYI, I hear young adults all the time saying, and I know I said I was putting that on the middle, but I kind of like it. So the more it comes in, I really like it, and I'm gonna smoke out the edges, and I'm patting it inward, trying to get the color I really want. I really want this yellow to be very, very bold, and I really, really like it. But yet, I hear a lot of young people saying, I can't wait until I get older. I'm going to do what I want to do. My poor babies. No, you're not. You're going to go to work. You're going to pay taxes. You're going to follow the laws as according to driving. You cannot do... There are so many more rules when you become an adult. Everything. There are rules. There are even rules when I use my ATM card that tells me how much of my money I could pull out of an ATM machine. There's rules with everything, but all of them were created for a reason. Like if someone got hold, I'm going to go into the edges with a dark, with this, I used this color before. I'm going to use this one, a darker color, in the end, on the very edge of the cut crease, and bring it in. There are rules created for that, right? So let's just say somebody got a hold of my ATM card and they just have a clean old field day. I accidentally left my card in the machine. They could see exactly how much money I have, and they pull every dime out. Now I don't have any money. But why? Why don't I have any money? Because I want the rule to be, I could pull out however much I want, whenever I want. Right? I wanted it. Well, now they just took all my money. And then I go into the bank and I say, why did you let him take all my money? And they say, well, Miss Campbell, we tried to help you. We tried to help you and set a limit, but you told us no. Rules are created for a reason. They're created to protect us. And when you become an adult, you get so many more. So enjoy the little ones that your parents have now, like to keep your room clean, get good grades, do your chores. Which, by the way, y'all chores today, they're not like our chores. I bet how many of y'all, tell me in the comments how many of you guys know about cleaning up on a Saturday morning while you listen to, let's see, what would your parents listen to? Your parents would probably listen to 90s music at this point. They're probably listening to 90s music. yeah, they would probably listen to 90s music, like some uh, Johnny Gill, or what would we listen to in the 90s? Like Shy and Boys to Men and Jodeci, Lauryn Hill, probably stuff like that. That's what your parents probably listen to. I'm just going to go, I did a V shape. I'm going to go in a little bit more with this darker color on each eye and darken it up a little bit, and then put my mascara and my liner, and I will be done. But yeah, you guys don't have that much to worry about, so enjoy it. Focus on listening to what QueenTiti is taking the time. I did that kind of like a cat eye. Focus on building your strength and your skills and enjoying being a kid. Your job is to get good grades. Those of you that are in high school and probably like seniors, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Do y'all have jobs these days? I don't know if y'all have jobs or if y'all just take all our money. I'm not sure. Because these people in this house, those little munchkins, they just take TT's money. But they're good. They're good babies. So I enjoy being able to provide for them and help them with the things that they want. But the reality is, guys, don't fall into peer pressure. Make your parents proud. They love you very much. Then I'm darkening this color one more time, and I'm going to go across the top one more time with the other color. Your parents love you very much. The things that they are trying to tell you not to do and trying to protect you from, please listen, because a hard tail makes a soft butt. And sadly, because you all are youth, and whatever decisions that you make, some of them can last a really long time. Y'all want to know what's funny? Oh, orange. Y'all not gonna laugh at me. I couldn't remember what color I used, but I'm going to need to pick up a clean brush, and I want to go back in with the orange just across the top, just a little bit, one more time to thicken that color, and then let you guys see. But everything that they do, your parents, the people that love you, people that love you does not just include your parents. It includes an aunt, it includes a grandmother, it includes an uncle, it includes the teacher, it includes anybody that's telling you something to help you be the best and have the best and help you be safe. And so your parents aren't the only adults that you listen to. You listen to any adult. Back in my day, you better not disrespect an adult. You better listen to exactly what they told you. And all of that, you not my mama, you not my daddy, you can't tell me what to do. Listen, as long as that's an adult, they can tell you what to do, especially if it's in your best interest. Now, you ever feel unsafe or anything like that, you make sure you discuss that with your parent, but that's not for you to talk back. It's not appropriate. Mascara. You guys want to see? It's really pretty. I like it. I can really see the yellow. I like it. Now let's do mascara. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So you guys remember I had on those lashes on the last video? Let me do this because I need to end this video. Remember I had on these lashes last time? Those lashes? Oh my Lanta, y'all. Listen, as soon as that video was over, I think the next day I snatched those off. I couldn't do it. Y'all, I couldn't do it. They felt like, I'm telling y'all, all I kept thinking about, I did it. All I kept thinking about, y'all, was that doggone commentary I told y'all about that Zoe did, making fun, or making, not making fun of, but doing a comedy about us girls and how we put on our makeup. And the first thing he did was put on, when he put on the lashes, he goes, oh my gosh, y'all do this every day? This feels like suitcases. Why do y'all do that? And I'm telling y'all, I felt him, because QueenTiti, I had to take that off. I had to take them off because I wasn't able to function. I didn't like them. They did feel like suitcases on my face. And I actually got the ones that were supposed to just like integrate into my own lashes. And so they were supposed to be like, I got short like on the inside and medium on the outside. And I mean, the length was fine. It's just, they really were heavy. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. So sorry, guys. I couldn't do it. And I believe it took at least 15 of my eyelashes with it. And so, allow me to spread my lashes out. And let me do the bottom. And I have a 3-way mirror. And unfortunately, I still haven't figured out how to do my mascara without getting it on my shadow when it's complete. Okay, so as I am wrapping up, I hope that you enjoyed us talking about peer pressure and TT sharing her story with you about peer pressure. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to go over to our Instagram and tell your parents to follow us on Instagram so they will be aware of what you are watching. This is just NYC Blackliner. Be aware of what you're watching and get to see that, and I'm putting it on my inner lip, and get to see that you are actually taking the time to watch something that is good for you and an interactive process. Because if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, it is absolutely welcome. I'm going back up, and you can leave it in the comment area, and QueenTiti will get back to you. If you want to watch with your parents or your friends, make sure that you do so and be a trendsetter and a leader so that you can get all of the latest updates. And you know that if you leave something in the description area that you want me to talk about, or email me about something that you want to talk about, just remember to let me know if you want me to shout you out and give you credit for it, or no, QueenTiti, I just want to talk about this, I don't want my name everywhere, then just let me know and I will make sure and respect that. I like this palette. It does not have any fallout, so I'm wiping my face because it's a habit to just go ahead and clean off my whole face a second time. But I really like my shadow. I really like the way that it came out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow us on Instagram so you can get the latest updates of everything that we're doing in the community. Application process for the school year 2019-2020 is opening this week, so make sure that you pay attention. For parents out there, we will be doing a giveaway because remember, I'm in a partnership with Divine Purpose. So we will be doing a giveaway for a free ticket for a raffle. It'll be a raffle. And that is going to be to all who subscribe to the QueenTiti channel within a 2-week period. And I will release more information on that. But as far as following us, everything will be in the description box below. Please continue to visit. Let me know how you like my makeup this time. Don't be mean. Don't go in on me. I did the best that I could. Thank you again for joining. I'll see you next time. Titi kind of love.